Hey people, I cracked a huge hole in this matrix and it's time for everybody to jump out. All this shading on this picture, it used to be words at one time explain how to use this in a language that was worldwide, everybody could understand. And this is what it was talking about. It's telling you how to use this, how to use the stars, how to work with the powers above. So I got to give this to old girl MJ Truce again. She inspired me again by letting me know that King James used the word matrix. So I had to investigate that. So this is one of the places he used it, and he's the only one that used it. And that makes me think that either he was homo and he thought vagina was too nasty to go across his tongue, or he was illiterate and he really didn't understand what these writings were about, or three, he was all just part of the matrix to keep us all in the dark. So what it's saying is, in the folded bind of the pictures collected to begin, the first divided waters, and that would be the seed of life, the Vesco Pisces. Anytime life begins, one cell separates, becomes two, and it leaves a concentrated Vesco Pisces in the middle. And you won't see this cow a lot carved on the wall in Egypt because it was in the folded bind of the pictures collected to begin. It was a private book for the kings. It wasn't out there for everybody. In the school of the secrets, you learn how to draw this matrix first, and you learn the number for every square in it. And that way you can look at a number, you can look at a three-letter word in your Bible, and you can pull out the area of the picture that it's talking about. It's part of the secret code. And so what it's teaching you here is how to pick out the shoe first. The shoe, the fires connected, the writings of medicines. And you're going to find the first shoe to work from. So this first connection of the moon is the most important. It affects our tides. It it affects the waters. You're mostly water. It affects your brain. To get a lot better idea, pull this page up on Buddhist org about the moon. It's probably about 1,500, 2,000 words, and it'll explain real well about the moon's effects on Earth. So every illiterate farmer has always known that the moon is the mother. The moon tells you when to plant, when to harvest, but it's not the only controlling factor. All the stars we've seen in my last movie, that they have an effect, and every plant, animal, and yourself all have the capability of transmutation. And that's why you have to read the stars to know when to plant what, when to extract, to get the powers of the RX, the powers of the drugs to come out. This is a picture of the book of the art from the plants to begin, and and it gives you a three-letter code, and you'll find that code all through the Bible. So we're stuck in a matrix, and they lie to us about everything, about all our history. If you want to get a better idea of our beginning, check out all the Sumerian tablets. Check out everybody's interpretation, and just remember that when they're talking about these gods, they're talking about books, and when they're talking about places, they're talking about chapters in the books. And if you break those words down with the letter chart, you get a lot better idea. For the most basic recipes, you need at least 4 books. Uh, you're going to have to make your roux, pick your plants out uh, to give the writings to begin, and then you're going to go down to to make your roux divided from the first connection, and that's the book of the mother, the milk connected writings, the king's connected writings, MLK, and Then from there you're going to go to get your waters to work from the Ru's divided. And that'll be in the book of divided fold water life. Then in the house to make seed life, you'll have the knowledge consumed from the waters to work from. And like I said, everything had a connection, and waters means many things. So now that I've bored all the idiots away, this is fixing to get good. All your scholars are lying to you. It's easy to tell. Anytime you're looking at this Egyptian writing, you always, first thing you look at is the animals, which way they're looking. And you'll see that the R changes direction with the animals facing it. Lets you know which direction to read. And if the gods and the people you don't understand, always look at the animals, because they know to follow the gods. They know to keep in line. And you'll see the R changes directions. And so that's how I know that this is the D up here and not the R. It's the DK, the 420 of Seshat. And they try to change our language by turning it into an oral of what it sounds like. And that's not what the language is about. It was all visual. You weren't talking to anybody. This was secret. It was just between you and the book. So this Seshat is backwards. This is THC. There's several S's in the language, but this is the S that evolved into our C. And so they're talking about the extract of THC and the 420 isn't necessarily the THC or the marijuana, but it's in the code of the 420, and you'll find it all through the Bible. You'll see it the first time it talks about the figure 420, FIGDK. And it's telling you go to the book and look at the figure 420 to see the pictures that you're working with. So the Egyptians weren't hanging out and getting high all the time and getting the munchies. It talks about it all through the Bible, and they were using it in many different drugs to cure many different things. And they were using it to expand their mind, to open their eye of Ra. I caught my son one time getting high with his friend and talking about how high they got last time, and I had to explain to him that that's not why we use marijuana. We use it to expand our mind, to think of the future and better things. We don't use it to remember stupid things we've done in the past. So I know y'all can't read my letter chart on the bottom, but that's just to remind you this is where I get all this from, and I hope you download a copy and upgraded it to the things I discussed in past videos, and try to memorize it and help you read along. So this is just one of many of books of creation from Egypt. I don't know if the God left it here for us. It appears that somebody had blasted their way in to get them, like they had to tear some stuff up. But there was no Moses. Moses is from the writing the fire life. It's the vaporized medicine. All the different writings, the different languages all come from Egypt. And it's just the tongues to bind to let you know which book to get your secrets out of. All the peoples, all the places was all created. The maps of lands is all secret charts to let you get the codes from. If you've done any old-fashioned woodworking, you might know what a fro knife and a draw knife is. And a draw knife is one you hold with two handles and draw it to you. And a fro is used for splitting wood shingles. It's one that you push away or you hammer through to split wood. So this, you can see here that they're sitting on the knowledge. These are the books. And the book of the shoe is the carried knowledge, the small box in the middle. Looks like your upside down American flag there. And the bind, you can see they're always sitting in the same style, in in the shape of that old L, and that's the direct, and these are codes, and telling you you spot it all through the Bible in the alley hymns, and it'll tell you the rest of those writings follow it. uh, and the life, your letter E or he, that's in the left hand there, and then that tool in the right, that is a from, to work from, and it's designed to hold your hot work away from it, for mixing dangerous chemicals that might blow up in your face so you can reach away when you pour them. It's got a hook on one side so you could grab the pot lids. Uh, it's designed so you can put something up on the top shelf, or you can reach up on the top shelf to get it from. So whoever told you that the word Elohim in the Bible means God, they thought Thoth was their God. First time Seshat comes in the Bible is Genesis 6:11, and you could see that green circle. That's where a picture was finishing the last book. And this is a total new book starting at 9 here. And that's why Noah doubles up there. It's because the first three words are the title of the book, and then it's explaining what the book's about. So the first lines in this chapter start with the terrible Nephilim being such a terror on the earth. And that's why you'll find those writings in the book of Enoch. And that means the divided book of the seas divided. The CH is divided. And then you'll see here, it starts in this book, the knowledge to bind life. The writings connected to bind through the seals to see the seed. And that's the title of the book. And there should have been a line there. That was big print. And then underneath it, it was a smaller print still explaining the book, what was in it. And it's talking about the seeds to divide, to learn, to make, to consume, the plants through the works after. Telling you how to break the plants down so they can be consumed. To seal the waters to work from. The work life through the first numbers connected. That would be the 420. So to begin, you learn the writings of the knowledge to bind, the life works from, the chapter of the seal, life bind, to give, the seed divided. The writings to understand the seals, to match them up with the seed. And you can see here on this next verse how they just cut it wherever they like to, because this was connected to the last line there. And it says, in the work connected to bind through, the seed divided, the fire bind to consume life, in the cycles to work from. Learn the writings of Shem, the name, it's the name everywhere else in the Bible, but it's the fire waters, the spirits. Learn the writings of the spirits, and learn the writings of divided waters, the divided waters of the dome, the 12 months, and learn the writings to make open the seal, or to make picture seals, to make the seals of the angels to put on your pill bottle, the trademarks, and the seal of Sechat, or THC. A lot of times in Egyptian writings, they put all the gods and secrets names backwards. So we flipped it back around today, but it's the seal of THC. And knowledge of the RX. Bind to open the seed work. Or that would be the bind of the paints, the picture seed work. Bind full of pictures. The knowledge to bind life works from, and the writings from to bind the knowledge of the royal plants, divided from the secrets. So this would be big pharma, and they were so tight with security, they had secrets from the books of secrets that weren't in there. So all this is just the title page for this book. This is the last part of the title page. The last instructions, the knowledge divine and life works from, to learn the writings, the knowledge of the RX, to connect the cycles of life and the cycles of the THC life, to give the works of the fires divided to make the seal. And that was the C-shat right there. That was the seal. And we still use it today. We call it the shit. Hey man, you got the shit? Yeah. So I'm gonna drop this off here. I don't want to get too long. Uh, I went to looking up the 420, and it's all through the Bible. It's thousands of times, and it doesn't just mean the marijuana. That's the code for the writings of C-shat and how to separate the first works. Uh, so y'all have a good day. God is love. God is light. God is knowledge, and spread the love. And if y'all want to spread a little love this way, I sure could use it. I've been working on this a couple years and I haven't hit a lick, and I'm about to run out of funds. I don't care for the ads. The ones I put on here, I made all of 14 cents on. So y'all could find that donation button if you want me to keep this up. Thank you much. God is love.